Good morning, everyone. I'm running a little bit late this morning, so I'm muted while I spare you the Dia frantically makes a coffee ASMR. So don't mind me, I'm just across the room in the kitchen, popping ice out of the ice tray to, to make a cold brew. So give me one moment, but good morning. I'm glad you're here. I hope your weekend is going well. Hope you had a good week. Good morning, sunshine. We don't mind ASMR. Well, I've got the ice in the glass so far. My little fridge here. So I'm renting this new place that I moved into, and it came with like the appliances and everything, so I didn't have to bring my own fridge. I had one, but now I gifted it to my dad for the time being to put in his man cave, since I don't need it. But the fridge here is leaking somehow. It's not leaking externally, so there's no water outside, but like on the top shelf of the fridge, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes there's a puddle of really cold water dripping down from the freezer above, so I don't know. I'll have to figure out what that is. Let's see. I have so I have my coffee. I'm gonna have to decide if I want to put anything in it. I could be really fancy and do a splash of heavy cream, but I usually reserve that for special occasions. This week will be crazy. Why? What do you have to do this week? Next week is going to be crazy for me. I'll tell you that much. Ugh. My boss's boss is finally back from PTO next week, so she has the final word on if I get that promotion I've been talking about for however many months it's been. I hope I got it. I got a raise, but it's a pretty small raise. Okay, if you're not familiar with corporate America, which for your own sake, I hope you are not. If you're not familiar with corporate America, in most companies, you hope you get what is called a merit increase each year. Each year that you work with the company and your seniority goes up, you get a merit increase. Usually it's a small percentage. Really what that is a cost of living increase that makes it so your wages don't fall behind the rising cost of living. But I digress. But basically, my merit increase this year was raised by it was roughly doubled. So I got a bigger merit increase than my colleagues because I'm doing more work. So that was the raise that I got if you're in the Discord, I mentioned that. Where's my straw? There it is. However, as good as that is, as good as it is to get a raise, that is not the type of raise or the amount financially that I should get for a promotion. So I'm sitting here just kind of waiting to see if I get the promotion and the pay change that should come with the promotion on top of the merit increase that I got. Or if my company is going to be really shady and they're going to give me the merit increase and say, yep, that's your promotion increase. So, we'll see. A little stressed out about it, not going to lie, but we do what we can. Alright, I have my... Can you hear my coffee? Alright, I have that, now I can sit down. But my phone's gonna die, so I can't sit down. I have to go plug that in. Hold on. I guess I could have swapped my screen to the canvas this whole time, but oh well. Exam ND 102, good luck. I'm wishing you the best. Fingers crossed. Study hard, do your best. Alright, let's see. Do I even have my tablet set up yet? No, so I'm running behind. I'm I'm putting myself in a precarious situation here. You can't see my desk, obviously, but the way that I have it set up is I have obviously like the desk itself in front of me, which is where my keyboard and my mouse are. And then above that, or slightly behind it above that, I have a monitor riser, and that's what my monitor rests on. And on the monitor riser, just to the right of the monitor, I have my 3 most common writing utensils, which are a fine tip Sharpie, I use that for signing books, my typical black ballpoint pen, I use that for signing checks and documents, and I have my stylus, is that what they're called? I don't know. My pen for my tablet. My point is, I have 2 real pens that could damage my tablet and my actual tablet pen right next to each other. And at any given moment, I am at risk of picking up the wrong one. So far, I have not damaged my tablet, but we'll see. Sorry, what is your work? I work for a healthcare vendor. I work across a bunch of different accounts, so I don't work for like a particular medical service, but I am a vendor for government medical services, and I perform quality assurance, which basically means that I am auditing the work that our team does to ensure that patients are receiving the correct care, the providers are filling out their documents properly, and that they're submitting documents correctly, things like finding fraud, waste, and abuse, etc. That's what I do. No, hide your real pens. I know it's a dangerous game. I'm trying to, at the very least, put like my 2 real pens, like the book signing one and the document signing one. I'm trying to put them on the left side of the monitor and just have the tablet pen on the right side. But I know if I do that, I'm just gonna reach for them because they look the same. They're all black and gray. They all look the exact same. Alright, let's see. I love the concept of today's art. Tell us more about it. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's very rough. It's a very rough sketch, if that wasn't obvious already. But I think I mentioned in either a previous stream or talking in the Discord or something, I mentioned that I want to do more work with backgrounds and more, for lack of a better word, I want to do more scenes with Bronte and Cyril interacting, more like illustrations, rather than just like portrait sketches, which is kind of what I stick to. I really need to practice. I need to just practice more. I'm gonna be real with you. This is just our secret. This is just between us, okay? So don't tell anybody. I'm very burnt out on art right now. Art specifically. I can write fine. My writing pace is totally fine. But art lately has been extra draining, and I think it's just because of work and kind of life happening. So I don't know how much work I'm gonna do on this today. I might have a backup option to do something different today, but we'll see. I am gonna still work on it because I do want to, like I said, I want to do more illustrations, more scenes of Bronte and Cyril interacting, because I do backgrounds and things like that for the animatic, right? But I want to stop keeping all of my background work for animatics because then nobody gets to see them until 2 years later when the animatic is finally done. So, all that to say, this started off as actually to give you an idea of how my drawing process was for this. I think I actually still have the original on here. Let me see if I do. So we have this setup here where we've got the clouds in the background, and basically this is going to be, obviously this is just a sketch, so it's just meant to kind of imply the shape at the moment, but you know, this is eventually going to be like an arced kind of window. Oh my goodness. It's going to be an arced window. There's going to be like panes of glass, yada yada, and you'll see the clouds through, blah 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 blah. All that fun stuff, right? Okay, cool. Glad we're on the same page. And then these babies right here. So this actually started as kind of what I would call my quote unquote typical drawing, for lack of a better word. I think I still have the other sketch in here. Yeah, there we go. So you can see that this is the actual original sketch. So basically it was just going to be them on like my usual gray background. And I decided I want to do something different. I've been wanting to practice backgrounds. I've been wanting to practice kind of illustrations. So let's change the composition. Let's move them down to the corner, and we'll do some clouds, and like you can see out the windows of the cathedral. So that's what I did. I changed it. And then actually originally this had two versions of it, where the first version, I wonder if I can do this in a way that isn't going to be very difficult to see. I think, well, no, that's fine. White's easy enough to see. So I did two versions of this where it's again, I know that it's hard to see because it's really dark and it's very blobby and rough, but basically we have Cyril right here. This is Cyril. His head is not facing that way, but you get the idea. That's Cyril. And as the arrows imply, he's leaning over. And so his arm kind of comes in front of Bronte, and he's sitting opposite her. And you can see that he's got his arm down here, and then he's got basically, this is a book over here. Because originally I did two versions of this sketch where Bronte was not leaning in as much as she is. She was kind of sitting upright, and she had the book kind of like in her hands, right? Like this is all very rough, but just to give you an idea. But she had the book, and then basically Cyril has confiscated the book and said, no, pay attention to me instead, because that's what he does. So I originally had two versions, and then I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go with the cute one where they're kissing, and I'm going to put it on this larger piece. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Wrap colored washi tape around your pens. I don't have any. But that is a good idea. I generally, this might sound sacrilegious because I know it's really popular. I generally don't put like stickers or anything on stuff, or like washi tape. I'll put it on like in journals and stuff like that. I'll put it in those, but like, you know how you have like the water bottle, the big old water bottle with all the stickers on it? I don't do that. I don't like putting like sticky stuff, or well, washi tape isn't necessarily sticky, but you get the idea. stream some games. Babel, I literally already have Tiny Glade running in the background. It's just waiting for me to swap to it. I'm gonna try to do as much art as I can. Because I generally speaking, I try to keep YouTube for artwork because people don't come here to watch games. But I'm really, really tired today, really, really burnt out. So I have it up and I'll swap to it at some point. I will sell my Christmas dress. Excited to see the finished product. Oh, that'll be awesome. Sorry, Caps. Babble's just so excited. When you're done, send it to us. I'll save it. I definitely will. I want to. I'm not currently. Wow. Let me try again. Dia words. Okay. I am not an artist. I could just stop it there. I'm not an artist. No. I am not an artist who I consider to be at the skill level where I would make my art available as prints. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to get to that point eventually. I think that would be very fun. I would like to do that. However, I think I need to work more on backgrounds and doing more interactions and doing more. I say more rendering, but what I mean by that is I want to work on my rendering style because I'm not super satisfied with it right now. So all that to say, eventually I would like to get to the point where I can publish prints, and by that I mean things that would look good as prints, and by extension might look good as, say, desktop or phone wallpapers. I only have a couple of pieces that I would consider to be like print quote worthy, quote unquote, quality, and most of them are stills for the animatics because that's when I do backgrounds. I don't usually do them otherwise. I have a couple of Pirate Serial though that I'm like, yeah, that was a pretty good one. I wouldn't mind making that one available as a print. I literally still have that as my desktop wallpaper. Well, not my wallpaper, it's my lock screen, which is perhaps more incriminating considering it's Cyril with his shirt open, but whatever. I don't know. People can question my sexuality, I don't care. Rah! I know, Heaven. That's very sweet of you, though. Thank you very much. I'm very hard on my own work, and I acknowledge that. Because I've had people ask me before, like, hey, would you ever, put your work up as prints? And I don't feel like my art is there yet. I would love to get it to that point, but until I feel like it's good enough for that, I'm not gonna do it. Hopefully with some practice that point comes soon, but we'll see. I would like Tiny Glade. Well, good. Well, boy, howdy, do I have a deal for you. Uh, but yeah, I would like to do. I'm still obviously kind of sorting out how I want this to work because basically this is just the rough sketch as I mentioned, but you can kind of tell from this, Cyril is facing like away from the viewer. That's the worst arrow I've ever drawn. Cyril is facing away from the viewer, so obviously his legs are kind of like over the other edge. He's not like sitting off of the edge of the cathedral. He's not doing that. So what I have to decide is kind of how I'm going to lay this out. I just wanted this to be the basic composition so I could figure out where I go from there. So my ideas are, because obviously I want this to be, well, I say that I want it, quote unquote, to be Windows, but it doesn't actually have to be Windows. Because what I could do is this could be one of the many, because there are many, this could be basically one of the many rooftop gardens that the cathedral has. So instead of this being like a window, it could just be an archway, and it's basically a cloister. So instead we would have, let's see if I can just sketch this in really, really roughly. So we'd have like arches. Obviously this pillar would probably go away, but just to kind of keep it for now. So we'd have arches kind of going through. It'd be cool, I think, to kind of have a lantern, because there's lanterns that hang down kind of like in all the I just said the word cloisters. That's the word. And obviously, all of this would be, you know, colored in. There's probably like some fancy carving over here. Again, this pillar probably goes away. This is the walkway, so this would have like a brick pattern on it. That's a terrible brick pattern, but you get the idea. All of this would be carved. The column would get like a proper shape and look like an actual column instead of just a rectangle. So they could be sitting kind of up in a cloister, and then I would need to just add some sort of, I don't really know if it would be, you probably wouldn't from this angle necessarily see a bunch of the plants, like the plants would all kind of be like below them, because you like, I can picture this very easily in my mind because I know what the cathedral looks like in my head, but I understand if you're not me, it's probably harder to picture. But basically there would be, because the gardens are, sure, let's do another way. Because some of the rooftop gardens, not all, but some of them, will basically have, like here's the main building, and you're looking at the cathedral from the side, so just keep that in mind. So there's the cathedral, and there's the steeple, you open it up, see all the people, you know, did you guys ever do that as kids? Anyways, so you come outside, there would be like a cloister right here, and then it would drop down, and there'd be like another one, and it would drop down, and so on and so forth. So they're kind of like terraced gardens. What does that do? So anyways, so Bronte and Cyril would be about right here, kind of like the outside of this cloister. So you would see like a little bit of the garden beneath them, and there's like a walkway, so there's probably going to be like a little bit of a railing that you would see on the other side, kind of. And you probably see like a little bit of treetops, maybe, and then you'd see like a little teeny tiny bit of the roof of like the next cloister down, but then you would just see clouds. Does that make sense? I see the vision, amazing. Okay, good, I'm glad you can see it. Shoves away a binder of... Listen, not... All right, well, hopefully it's back. Thank you, Babel. Thank you, Monte. All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it might have something to do with me not updating? Oh my goodness, updating OBS. I probably should do that. I'll take a look at that after stream though, make sure it's back in line. But anyways, let me get my stuff back up here. And thank you, Heaven. We don't need to give details on that. Suffice to say, they're not going to be back. We don't need to get into that. That's not what I want my chat to do. All right, let's see here. We can all blame TinyGlade for that, maybe. I say as I boot it up. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm tired. OBS crashing is how I feel. So I'm just gonna open some TinyGlade. We're just gonna hang out. Because I have yet to try the new update for TinyGlade with all the extra features, like stairs. We finally have stairs. I don't need to make stairs manually anymore. And if my OBS crashes again, I will know that it is TinyGlade's fault. All right, let's see. There we go. This is a build that I did way back when TinyGlade first dropped, and it blew up on Twitter because TinyGlade, like the company account on Twitter for TinyGlade, retweeted it. And ever since then, I've seen a ton of people remake it, which is fine, which is great. I love that people are having fun with it. But yeah, I just find it funny. I'm like, hey, that was me. I did that. Anyways, all right. It's like creating a meme on the internet, and then you see everybody using it. It's like, hey, I did that. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna create a new one and just kind of mess around. Summer, autumn, olden, flowery, or winter. What should we do? I usually go for summer or autumn. Which do you think we should do? Winter is really pretty, but I think the water freezes, and the water is like one of my favorite parts. But the snow is really cute. Okay, we got one vote for winter, one vote for autumn. Oh, Sarah's changed her mind to summer. Autumn, winter looks like cherry blossom petals. It does. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't make. Oh my gosh, my voice. Hold on. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't make. I mean, the trees are kind of like slightly pink. They're like a peachy color, which is very cute. But I'm surprised that they didn't go full like cherry blossom for the spring map. I also don't know why they didn't call it spring because they've got summer, autumn, winter, but then they choose flowery instead of spring instead of spring. I don't know. Whatever. I'll do autumn. I usually go with autumn. Oh, interesting. It always just starts off with like a random build, but anyways. Let's see. I should be able to see the creation steps if I rewind it. All right, and then we have a little friend, two little friends. All right. Let's see. It's been a while. I want to clear out some area first. I do have some other builds that I've done before, and I can show you guys some of those later. I did one that's relatively big, but it is unfinished. I don't think I ever finished it. Um, but I can show you that later. I just want to kind of mess around. Uh, let's do. You can have super, super high elevation now, which is great because that's a new feature. It did not have that before. There, now we have some hills. Very cute. Harry Potter vibes. Yeah, it definitely has like that kind of wizardy Fantasyland feel, which I absolutely adore. I did technically, sort of, not really, but kinda. Is that vague enough for you? I did create a sketch. I would call it a sketch. It's not perfect, but I did create a sketch of the inn from the secret project, which I don't remember if I ever gave that inn a name. I don't think I did. I think I just call it the village inn that's in Merrimet. I don't call it like a particular name. We can name all the inns another time. But I did do a sketch of that in Tiny Glade, which was very fun. Uh, I do wish there was more clutter, and hopefully they will be adding that, but they've already added so much, so I am very grateful to the devs for everything that they've added. Look at these, they've got little paths. Oh, it's adorable. All right, let's see. What was I doing? Water, that's what I was doing. I have to kind of figure out where I want the water to be. I would like, and I kind of do this with all of my builds in Tiny Glade, I've noticed. I have a weakness for having this like path that goes like right along the water. So you know what? We're gonna do it again. I love that the leaves end up in the water. Oh, it's so pretty. I would love to see it. Soon it's Halloween. It's August. It's August. I mean, I say that, but I absolutely love Halloween, and autumn is my favorite season, so I'm not complaining. This should be the end of the map, like, oh, no, I guess I can go further. Where's the end of the map? I turned off the line that shows the end of the map for pictures, and I probably should turn it back on so I can see where it is. There we go. Let's turn that off. Okay, there we go. So I did have a little bit more space. I think that works for now. I might do more water kind of over on the side, but for now, I think kind of right in the middle. But I do want to add like a little island just because I think that's adorable. Cute. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's very cute. I spent a good portion of yesterday, probably a good couple hours at minimum, doing some beta reading for another author. And she and I are swapping manuscripts. So I read 5 chapters of hers, she reads 5 chapters of mine, and we critique one another, which is very common. And oh man, that was a journey that I went on yesterday. Good night, Heaven. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you had a good time. Get a good night's sleep. And I'll see you again another time. And I do believe that the author, I could be wrong, but I believe that this is correct. This is her first novel, so it's her first time writing anything of this length. And so for that reason, first of all, her manuscript is not completed. So she's still very much still actively writing it. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means that she's in a different stage of development. But again, like I said, she did, and again, I think that this is accurate. I'm going off of memory, but I believe she did say this. She said that it's her first book, so she's not published anything before, and she's not written anything like it before. So she's still very much a beginner, and I would still consider myself a beginner, so that isn't like I'm not intending that to be an insult. So she's still very much a beginner, and she's still kind of feeling things out. But basically, I've read approximately 30,000 words of her manuscript so far, and nothing's happened. And I mean that, again, in a nice way. There's just nothing has actually happened yet. And I kind of told her that in my feedback, which I try to be very nice. I said, this is really slow, this is kind of dragging, which means that I, as a reader, am feeling tempted to just skim through it and get to the next thing that's going to happen. And she says, oh, yeah, no, you're right. Probably the first 20 chapters I'm all going to cut eventually. And I'm like, girl, you did not just tell me that you had me read 30,000 words that you're going to cut anyways. Just give me the Spark Notes version and let me read the good stuff. Please. It's fine, though. It's a good exercise for me, and it's helping out another writer who's getting their footing. So it's all good. It's all good stuff. You mostly call it Inn or Village Inn in chapter 4. I did name it, so I did name it Rutherford. Oh, right. Well, I'm glad that past me figured out a name for it. uh, I shouldn't be moving the trees around yet, because I'm going to put buildings in, and then the trees will go around the buildings. So I should stop putting trees in places, because they're gonna change anyways. I do wish there was a way to make water, like make a little creek, like kind of like a little, maybe have like a little pond up here and then like a creek that flows down. But that's not possible. So, is she writing a cozy fantasy or something? No, no, she is not. She is writing a dark fantasy, possibly grimdark. I haven't read far enough through it to know. I want to say that she's presented it to me as a dark fantasy, which is why I offered to read it. Um, I love a slow book. Listen, I would consider Immolation to be a slow book. I wrote it that way on purpose because that's what I like. And again, I'm not trying to be mean. She is working very hard, and I am in my position as a beta reader. I am here to support her and encourage her to continue working. So I don't mean this as a dig. In 20 chapters, actually more than that, I think it's 23 chapters. In 20 chapters, not even a full 24 hours has passed in the story of the book. That's how slow it is. And it's all been like internal monologue and childhood flashbacks and lots of internal conflicts about like the religion or like whatever. And I'm sitting here like, I know she already said that she doesn't believe in the God anymore. Can we move on, please? So, yes. All that to say, no, it is not a cozy fantasy. It is a dark fantasy. It's very edgy. And I don't mean that as an insult. Again, oh, right, we have cobblestone paths now. Ooh, which of these am I going to use? Okay, hold on. I have to see what each of these look like. It's edgy and in the way that I don't know, because I don't mean this again. I don't mean this as like a dig on them or anything. It's just it is very edgy, for lack of a better word. It is quite literally blood for the blood god. That's the whole premise. So there's a whole lot of blood. And look, you guys know me. I wrote Immolation. Immolation is also a very edgy book. There's a lot of vampires and blood and all of that. So when I say that it's edgy, just understand that I mean edgy in the sense that it feels a little bit like 14-year-old edgy fanfic kind of vibe, which isn't bad necessarily, but it's a lot. It's a lot for me. It's also, and this is not a bad thing. Which of these paths am I going to use? They're all really cute. because I want a path to go along the water down here. I'm kind of leaning towards this one. This one's really cute. Angsty. Yeah, I would say angsty. It's a and again, I think this author is about my age, give or take. She's maybe a little bit younger, but it's like she's in her mid 20s. So it's not like it is some kid, like some 14-year-old writing their first story, because one, I don't interact with minors within my power. Two, I forgot what I was gonna say. Point being, it feels very young in my opinion. And when I say that, I mean if you compare a work of fiction, like a fantasy fiction, that is written for adults versus piece of fiction, a fantasy fiction that is written for a young adult audience. Like it's a totally different genre, right? You have YA and you have adult. And now we have new adult, but I'm not going to get into that because that's just a marketing thing where they have young adult prose, but there's also going to be sex scenes in it. And anyways, I could talk on that for a long time. Anyways, um, you started writing a book a long time ago. Oh, well, you should pick it up. It's always good. Even if you don't publish it, it's still fun to write. I mean, I'm biased because I love writing, but point being, gonna need more coffee for this one. Also, hang on, you guys get to come with me because my ice is all melted, so I'm gonna get more. I wonder how far my headset will let me go. But anyways, it's angsty and young in the young adult sense of the word for the genre. And and again, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that because they're getting started as a writer and I'm here to support them. That's why I took on the beta read. But I would say that it shares a lot of the material um, that a young adult novel would, right? Or story. So it has things like there's lots of childhood flashbacks, which in and of themselves are not a bad thing, but when you overuse them, it can be a bit much. And kind of as an example of something that feels a little bit young is you have a character who is quote unquote the one, and she is literally referred to as the one, which again, not necessarily a bad thing, but it is very young adult feeling when you read it in a novel. Quite literally having a the chosen one who is literally called the chosen one. The character has a unique physical trait. In this case, it is the girl lead has gray hair, which is considered unique. Nobody else has it. It's a naturally occurring hair color, and nobody else has it. And it's quote unquote, the hair is quote unquote gray like ash, so her name is Ash. And when the story kind of picks up and events start happening, one of the first things that happens is that she reduces this magical tree thing to, you guessed it, ash. So it's very on the nose. It's very that's a pretty steep path. I don't know if we're gonna might have to bring the water out a little bit. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do some work here. Hold on. Do you like the characters? I want to like the characters because the premise itself is it was interesting to me because obviously I have just written Immolation, which is a story about a fictional religion. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'd really like to see how another author kind of tackles a similar premise, obviously with their own spin on it and so on. I do not feel a connection to the characters, unfortunately. I really wish I did. Um, we have three characters that are going to be important so far. We have the female lead, obviously, Ash. We have her. We have her unofficial boyfriend because they're not allowed to date in their religion. So we have her unofficial boyfriend, who I don't like. I really wish I didn't. I really wish I did like him, but I don't. I'm sorry. Cynthia, welcome in. How are you today? Wow, very original. There's nothing wrong with it. It is just, it's a little it feels a little bit YA to me, which is not inherently a bad thing, but it does mean that it is a genre I am not particularly interested in, so it's gonna be harder for me to connect with it. Um, which is okay. I can still be objective and give feedback for it. I'm not necessarily going to enjoy the reading experience as much as I would otherwise. What's the boyfriend's name? Starts with a D, ironically. Dimitri. His name is Dimitri. I don't like Dimitri. Don't like Dimitri. I'm sorry. I really wish I did. Because Dimitri, in about chapter 21, 22, about there, we get a fake out death scene with Dimitri where we think he's dead. We think 100%, not like, oh, he's injured and he might die. Like, nope, 100% you watched him die. You being Ash, because the story is told in that chapter from Ash's point of view. Yep, dead. In the box, watches him get rolled off into a coffin, the whole thing, right? 100%, he's absolutely dead. And I really wish it was different, but I felt nothing. I I really wish it wasn't the case, but I was like, okay, guess he's dead. Can we move on now? I didn't feel anything when he supposedly died. So I wasn't very connected to him. For reasons that I shall not get into on stream. He was not very. I did not find him to be a charismatic or. And this is apt, shall I say. I did not find Dimitri to be a charming, charismatic, or interesting character. Not even in a I don't like him as a person, but I like him as a character way, right? It wasn't that I didn't like his behavior, but I could admit that he was a well-written character. It wasn't that. He was supposed to be the goody two-shoes boy, and I still did not like him. And the reason I say that this is apt is because that author also does not like Cyril. So I'm like, hey, we both don't like our male leads. That's fair. Fair is fair. You don't like Cyril. I don't like Dimitri. I mean, to my credit, I did not say I don't like Dimitri. I didn't say that. She has said multiple times she does not like Cyril. So at least, hey, I guess I have manners. I've got that going for me. Which it's not a big deal. If people don't like Cyril, that's totally fine. Um, but I keep telling her, I'm like, you don't have to keep reading if you don't like the story or the characters. And every time she says, yeah, no, 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 I'd like to keep reading. So I'm like, oh, well, all right. And then every single time she's like, yeah, no, I really don't like Cyril. I'm like, he's not he's not gonna change if you just keep reading out of spite. He's gonna continue being the same way if you keep reading. You do understand that, right? Anyways, all that to say, I didn't like Dimitri, so I didn't really care when his fake out death came along. And then I was very confused when, and this is something that my books don't do, so I'm indifferent to it, I would say. I don't necessarily like it, but I don't hate it, I guess. The the author writes different chapters in different POVs, and it'll just have the character's name of like whose perspective it is. Which is fine. I mean, I'm indifferent to that. I don't particularly like it, but meh, whatever. It's very popular with like romantasy um, fiction currently, which is fine. No big deal. But having Ash watch the boyfriend die, and then the next chapter it says Dimitri's point of view, and then he's talking about how like his eye hurts because it's swollen. I'm like, what? So it's very, I don't know. It's just very. I did not have a good time yesterday. That's a bit harsh. It was fine. It was totally fine. I like the idea of. Oh no, come on. I forget the controls for these already. I've only tried them once. There we go. There. Very cute. Not sure what I'm going to do with that, but it is very cute. I'm a big fan. Ugh, stop it. There we go. I knew one Dimitri. I don't read your books for Cyril either. Valid. But yeah, just every single time she complains that she doesn't like some part about Cyril, and I'm just like, he's he's not gonna he's not gonna change if you just keep saying that you don't like him over and over again. He's not gonna like magically go away. I don't know. So we'll see. Not a big deal. Will this come low enough to? I don't think so. Oh, I see. It tries to make it so that the stairs can get there, but I don't think it's gonna work. I think I'm just gonna have to. There we go. I don't know what that's gonna be, but it's up there now. Cute. The new stairs look so nice. They do. I'm a big fan of the new stairs. I know it was difficult for the devs to kind of figure out how it was going to work as well, so I think they did a really good job. Awesome. It's fine if they say it once or twice, but if a person keeps going, it can be quite annoying. And they keep citing the same reason over and over again. And this is a pretty common thing in any work that's going to feature Cyril. Well, not every single one, but it's pretty common. And that's the age gap. Like, Immolation has an age gap. Bronte is much younger than Cyril, and he is a perverted old man who should not be pursuing a woman that is 20 years younger than him. He's a schmuck. It's on the tin. The label is on the box. And it's the same thing in The Secret Project. But every single time she comments, she's like, yeah, I know, I don't like him because he's so much older than her. I'm like, the label is on the box. The label's not going to change just because you keep complaining about the label being on the box. She told me to quote unquote consider my female audience more, and I'm just kind of like, you're implying that every quote unquote female reader likes what you like, but that's that's not how it works. Everybody has different tastes for things, and it's totally fine if you don't like the age gap trope. That's totally fine. You're entitled to that opinion. But that doesn't mean that it's gonna change or that nobody else likes it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know if she's gonna continue reading because she is at the first spicy chapter, shall we say. And I don't know, she might be a little bit of a pearl clutcher when she gets to that. I'm not sure. It's really hard to say. I read her spicy stuff. So if I had to read hers, she has to read mine. That's my opinion. All the duckies, sheep, and leaves are so cute. I know, aren't they adorable? I absolutely love the little ducks. Look at them, they're just so cute. Look at them all. I love the little fish too, and I think they react to your mouse. Yeah, they do. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I love it so much. She doesn't like the age gap. I know. I'm so sad. I'm like, that's 90% of what this is. Well, okay, it's not, but I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, I put the label on the tin, and I don't know why you're shocked when it shows up. Oh, the little fence has vines on it. Ugh, adorable. I love it. Super cute. This fence is not OSHA approved. Oh, wait for her reaction to the spice. Listen, okay. And Vontae already knows this, but and I think Babel, I think I told you as well. I love the age gap. I love the trope. I have so much fun with it. So in the Secret Project, at least currently, as the chapters are currently arranged, which is subject to change, basically it goes from, because again, I'm giving the, and I typically do this, but particularly with this other author who is writing hers in sections, I give her 5 chapters at a time, and she gives me 5 chapters at a time. Fair, totally fine. It's a good system. So I gave her chapters 5 to 10, and 10 basically ends on a cliffhanger, for lack of a better word, where the spice is about to start, the spicy scenes, and it just cuts off. But it's like very clear that that's going to happen. So she has read up to chapter 10. She currently has chapters 11 through 15 to read. She has not commented on any of that. And that's where the spicy is, the 11 to 15. That's where the spice is. That's where the peppers are. But 10 has like that cliffhanger, and she did not comment on the cliffhanger at all. She just spent all of her notes whining about how old Cyril is and how she doesn't like him because of that. And I'm just like, how? I mean, okay, fine, whatever. So anyways, all that to say, I'm expecting that one, here is my prediction, and we'll see if I'm right. The first option is that she does not comment on the peppers at all. She just doesn't comment. She doesn't have anything to say. Just nothing. Not a word. That's the first one. The second option that I could see happening is that she is a pearl clutcher and she's not comfortable and she says, I'm not going to continue reading because I'm uncomfortable. Which is also fine. If that's the way that she goes, whatever. Those are my two assumptions. It's gonna be one or the other of those. You can let me know if you've got a different assumption, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna be. The railings are super cute, but I also think I just really like it without. I don't know. I'll have to. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. Not sure. And I should be able to, using the stairs, make a little bridge here. I think what I would want to do is... Adorable! It's adorable, I tell you. Alright. And this one should get a railing, because it's a little bridge. That's so cute. It's so sad she doesn't like that he's a grandpa. Just every single time she says that it's impossible. I don't think I'd have to go get the reactions and the notes that she's left me verbatim. So this is just me going from memory. I'm not saying this is exactly what she said, but she basically said kind of along the lines of, it's hard to connect with F. In the Secret Project, Cyril goes by the name Ephraim, or Ephraim, however you want to pronounce it. Either way is fine. So she says, I find it hard to connect with Ephraim because he's a perverted old man and I don't like that. I'm like, yeah, well, that's who he is. I'm sorry, it's not going to change. But she says stuff like, if he's going to be a romantic interest, he can't do that. And if you want your female audience to like him, you can't do that. And you have to consider the fact that he needs to have like redeeming qualities and so on. And I'm like, no. I'm like, she wants, I think, and again, this is me just projecting assumptions. So I'm not saying that I know this for a fact. I'm not trying to like diagnose her thoughts or whatever. I think she wants Ephraim or Cyril to be like her Dimitri, which is the milk toast goody two shoes boy with a heart of gold. And I'm just like, Cyril's heart is like crusty black and tastes like charcoal. So that's not gonna work out. You've got the age gap in the trigger warning. I do have the age gap in the trigger warnings. It's right there. And I totally understand if someone doesn't like that. That's not a problem. It's literally no big deal. But it's like you can't come into the hot chocolate cafe and then complain that you don't like hot chocolate. Like the sign is outside the door. You made the decision to come here. So I don't know. We'll see kind of like how far she gets into all of that. I mean, it was kind of funny that I forget exactly which point she kind of commented it, but she said something along the lines at one point of, this conduct from Ephraim is starting to make me think he might be the bad guy. And I'm like, oh shit. I mean that in a nice way. But I'm like, I said specifically that it was a dark romance and there's an age gap. So I'm like, why are you expecting him to be close in age to her and have a heart of gold? That's not what the genre that I have put this story in lends itself to. That's not how this works. I think she might be confusing like dark romance and dark fantasy, because hers is a dark fantasy, but the romance portion of hers is not. It is a very what's the word? It's a not dark romance. I don't know. there's a word, wholesome, wholesome, that's the word. It's a wholesome romance, right? The two are they both clearly care for one another. They're not trying to manipulate one another within reason, but I have opinions on that regarding Dimitri because wow, I don't like Dimitri. Anyway, they are close in age. They're not trying to manipulate one another. They have respect for one another, sort of. They would get married if they could. Like they want to be devoted to one another. Within again, questioning Dimitri on that. Yeah, like all that kind of stuff, right? All the stuff that you would expect from like your standard wholesome romance, and it just happens to be in this dark fantasy setting. And I think she's confused that scenario with a dark romance in which this is a toxic relationship. And by the way, I also have toxic relationship in my trigger warnings because she's not even to the bad parts of the relationship yet. Like at this point, it's also an enemies to lovers, which is also in the trigger warnings. It's they're still in the like enemies stage mostly. They're like sort of warming up to each other because they have to work together, but they're still very much enemies. They are at odds against one another. They don't like each other. And it's only gonna get worse because Angelique is going to be very rude. But yeah, anyways, don't tempt me, or I will go into all the reasons that I hate Dimitri and why I think it's hypocritical, if that's the right word. Why I don't think it's fair for her to say that she doesn't like Cyril when Dimitri is also kind of a scumbag, in my opinion. Will that connect to the fence if I take it far enough? No, don't really. Doesn't look like it. That's okay. There we go. Oh, it kind of will. I think it's just because of the path, though. Yeah. There we go. That works. Cute. Adorable. I'm so happy that they added stairs and, by extension, bridges. It's such a cute feature. The Heart of Gold man would not do all that to Angelique. And if she likes the spice, that would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know what she was expecting. She's a feisty female with claws. Yeah, it's I don't know. It'll just be interesting to see her reaction if she actually does hold up her end of the bargain, which I'm not necessarily assuming that she will. Um, and that's okay if she doesn't end up doing that. It's not the end of the world. Um, but you know, it is what it is. No, I think that's no, it is that one. Pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, I think these are different paint colors for the wood. Those are actually. Oh no, these might have been here before. These are all really cute options though. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't. She did say that, and by this I mean the beta reader author said that she liked how bitchy Angelique was slash is. She finds it very entertaining, and she gets it. And I'm like, how come Angelique gets a free pass to be super rude, but as soon as Ephraim is like a little bit of a pervert, and not even like to her face, he just keeps all that to himself. It's not like he's catcalling her or trying to like pinch her ass or do stuff like that. He just is thinking it to himself. That he's like, wow, she's pretty. That's it. That's pretty much all he's doing at this point. To the point that she's red. And I'm just like, how come Angelique gets to like dehumanize him and that's totally fine? But as soon as he's like, wow, that girl who's very conventionally attractive sure is conventionally attractive. And she's like, wow, I hate him. Horrible. 0 out of 10. I'm like, make up your mind. Uh, anyways, I get it. We love a feisty female lead. I totally get it. But I'm like, come on now. But we'll see. I will be very curious if she continues to read at all, which I don't know that she necessarily will. Um, she's been very polite so far, like she's been friendly. Um, but I don't really think that she's enjoying the story. Because again, it doesn't seem to be tropes that she's interested in, which I feel like she should have considered before she agreed to beta read with me, but whatever. Um, so I don't know if she'll continue because I don't really get the impression that she's enjoying it, and I wouldn't expect someone who isn't enjoying the story to continue reading it. But we'll see. I don't really have a plan for what I'm gonna do with this. Oh, it'd be really cute. I don't know if that's possible. Um, I have to think about this. One of the things I would really like for them to add, which I don't think they currently have as an option, um, would be farmland of some kind. So you can put like fields of different crops in. I think that'd be super cute. Currently, all you can do are flowers, and they're very touchy. They're not very easy to place because they really want to snap together. So if I do this, you can see that it gives like a row of flowers inside of a flower bed, like there's a little stone border. I was gonna say barrier, but border. But if I try to do another row next to it, it all connects, and now you have like 500% more flowers, which is very pretty if you want a bunch of flowers, but if you're trying to make like little rows, then it doesn't work out quite as nicely. The other option is to use, and I've done this in a different build, I'll see if I can show you guys that in a bit. The other option is to do paths, but then it's just like bare dirt. So I don't know. Maybe in the future they'll add like crops or something because it can kind of give the insinuation of fields, but not quite. And then I think I did this in another build. If you put fences over paths, like so, it makes them all archways, and then you can shorten them. Oops. Come on. Come on. Wah. Oh, well, now they've got. There we go. Oh, that's as short as it gets? Okay, fine. Well, anyways, I thought you could make them shorter than that. But point being, you could basically set this up to look like you could set it up to look like a vineyard, is what I was trying to say. Um, like a grape trellis. That's what I was like. What the hell is the word? I wish they had an option for just bushes. I wish they had an option for bushes. Because normally what you have to do in order to like start getting bushes is you basically have to put a building down, and then all the bushes sprout up around the base of the building. But you can't like control like where the bushes go. They just kind of follow the building. It'd be nice to be able to place those individually. I guess we could just like leave this building up here. Could be cute. It actually might be fun to do like a little. Let's have that one over there for now. I'll probably change how big that is. Let's move this tree just somewhere. Put it there for now. It probably won't stay there. We could do like a little a little village square kind of up at the top of the hill. That'd be kind of cute. There we go. Something like that, and then I'll fill it in with more details. At least you can take the items from the buildings now. Yeah, at the very least you can take the like one side like here, like take some of the clutter. If I put like a door over here, you can see it's hidden kind of by the bushes, but you can see that it generated like this extra little bit of decor, and you can just yoink it and put it wherever you want, which is very cute. Big fan of that. We'll just put it back over there for now. I don't know if I would put, because if I, well, I can pave all of this, which could look really, really cute. The problem is if you pave too close to a building, it adds a different kind of door, which is very cute, but not what I want. I want to control the doors differently. What is your favorite book? My favorite book because I am very biased towards it, my favorite book is Mossflower by Brian Jakes, which is it's a book I read when I was a little kid. Uh, still a big favorite. Um, but beyond that, I really like Lord of the Rings, and well, I mean, I've read a lot of books, but I've read a lot of I guess what you would consider the classics. I actually have a fresh copy of Three Musketeers, which I've been meaning to reread since it's been several years since I read that. Super cute. I love the little cobbles. Ugh. Adorable. Okay. It's a very uneven town square, but you know what? That's fine. I love the way the trees run around when you move. I know, isn't it super cute? They've done a really good job with animating like how everything feels when you move it. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna put this over here. How far can I bring this out before? There we go. So that's as far as I can bring it out before it starts getting interrupted by the path. Let's move you over here. To change you. Cute. Whoops. All right, let's see. I bet they have a horrible horrible time with water runoff down into their house, but that's okay. This isn't real. I'm gonna do double doors for this. That sign is super cute. I don't think. Maybe we can like put it somewhere down here. I mean, we don't have any crossroads yet, but maybe we'll put it right here. And we can have some paths kind of running and crossroads around it. That'd be super cute. All right. Cute. I love the little lines of washing. I think that's super cute. I try to do that as much as possible on these builds. That makes it look too much like a church. I don't think I want that to be a church. I think I want this just to be a house. A big house, perhaps, but a house nonetheless. Sure, I'll figure out what I want to do with that again later. Oh, you can add. Oh my goodness, that's adorable. That's so cute. I really hope they add the option to do like interior kind of decorating eventually. I know a lot of people kind of already do that, but that'd be super cute. All right, I'm getting distracted. Hold on. There we go. What should we call this adorable village? It's an excellent question. I'm really bad at naming things. This a little bit shorter. What I'd like to do. That might be too short to fit a door. Let's see if a door fits. Ooh, barely. I think it needs more. There we go. Let's put that. I don't need a shovel, but thank you for the consideration. We'll just put that over there. One with a little garden box would be super cute. Adorable. All right. There's a lot of vines in front of this door. Let's see. Let's see how close I can get without accidentally giving it another door. Oh, well, vines grow over it anyways. That's all right. We'll just pretend that they have magic spells to get in past the vines or something. I don't know. You can change that too. Yeah, I think I wonder if you can do it on stairs actually. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, I guess if you like let me try on this. Yeah, interesting. So it'll let me change like the floor slash roof. That's really nice. Lovely. I wonder if you can, and you can even change the color. Ugh, beautiful. Um, yeah, I guess so. It means that you can make, instead of having to, well, I mean, you can do this with paths anyways, but like not instead of, because you can use, oh my God, I can talk. Instead of having to use buildings to make paths, you now have the option to make cobbled paths instead. And then if you want a higher terrace version, and obviously you can't put a path up high, this is the new option. This is really cool. I'm a big fan. And you can just remove the edge. Lovely. I actually have, in those previous builds. Do you guys want to see the previous build, or do you want me to keep working on this one? Because I'm kind of scared to go back and look at the previous builds, because I know I did manual stairs for a lot of them, and I'm gonna want to correct all the stairs. But that's gonna be a nightmare to correct all of them. I wonder if I. This is one of my favorite things, right? Okay, so look at the window, and then as you push it up, it gets like built into the roof. Isn't that adorable? Super cute. If you go all the way up into the roof, it gets like this little itty bitty window, which is cute, but I love the little overhang. That's really cute. It also lets you put windows on, let me find a corner. It also lets you put windows into the corners, which is just super cute. And then you can build them up to be like full. Come on. Super cute. It'd be fun to build, I don't even know if you can, but it'd be fun to build like a lighthouse with just like windows wrapping all the way around it or something like that. That'd be actually really fun. Um, Previous build, please. Yes, we want both. Okay. Well, I'll save this one and let's pull up one of the previous builds that I've done. Um, they're gonna be back here. So there's one. You can see that I was trying to make some farmland. So that's option one. Option one, we'll call it farmland. I know that that one's not done. So we'll call that option one, farmland. Not that one. Not that one. I can't actually. Oh, so okay. So option one is farmland. Option two, this one. This is a sketch that I did of the Rutherford Inn in Merrimet from the Secret Project. So it's just a sketch. It's not a very good build, but that exists. And then I'm trying to find the really big one that I did. I think it's this one. We'll call it option three, the big boy, because I don't know what else to call it. That's the really big one. Um, this was the very first build I did in the like serious build that I did in the full game, because these are from the demo back when I was just trying it out. So you got three options. You have farmland, you have the sketch from the secret project, and you have the big boy, which is the biggest build that I've done in here. So pick option one, two, or three. Vote now on your phones while I finish off my coffee. The sketch and big boy, oh boy. All right, here, let me. Where was it? Uh, yeah. Okay, so this is the one that was the sketch from Merrimet. Okay, so let me change the time of day. There we go. I'm pretty sure that I tried and failed. Like I gave up trying to build a wagon over here, and I just put this cute little wagon. I just put the cute little wagon with pumpkins over here, because I was trying to like build with tools that are not fit for purpose. I was trying to build the armored wagon that the coin guards bring, that's like full of supplies and rations and so on. That did not work. So now we just get a cute little pumpkin wagon, and here is a insinuation of some stables. This is not in any way accurate, but I just thought that there should be something over there. And then that's the inn itself, which I have tried. I wonder, I'm not going to be able to go through all of it, but super cute. I love this lens that makes it look like a miniature. It's super cute. But if I do, it put me up on the roof. Get me down from here. Okay. If I just do a little walk around version, I should be able to kind of go inside into the courtyard, which could be super fun. So let me just waddle my way back over there. Also, Kim, welcome in. You've probably been lurking by the sounds of it, but I'm glad to see you here. Thank you for coming. Okay. There we go. Now we're back in front of the inn. So I should be able to at least kind of go into the little courtyard that I made, because I thought it was very, very cute. Just kidding, there's a door here. Well, we didn't get very far, but still. So there's like double doors here, which is how you would go in, and now I'm gonna have to change the camera mode because I thought I could go back there, but I guess I didn't make it that way. I don't know what I was doing with this. There's no door or anything over here. Alright, I'll have to swap to free cam so I can just float around. Let's see. How does this camera control? Hold on. Ooh. Oh, is this... Okay, yeah, so I have to move like in the direction that I'm facing. Okay. There's a cute little inn. So the whole thing about the little courtyard I was talking about, there's the double doors up there. And if you go up and over, you can see that the doors let out into this little courtyard over here. There's a little tree. It's very dark back here because the lights don't come on unless it's nighttime. There's a little courtyard, a little tree. And if you come over here, this is the best that I could do for a fire pit, which is to put a bunch of lanterns down there. But so there's a little fire pit, some benches and such. And then up here, this is like the upper floor, the middle floor rather, of like all the inn rooms. That's like the doorway to like the stairwell, because when I made this, there was no such thing as stairs in the game. So that's the door to the stairwell. And then you've got all the different inn rooms. You can see there's another little corridor over here that leads to more inn rooms. So that's the first floor, and then if you go into the stairwell and up, you can go up a floor. And there's more inn rooms up here. And most likely, Angelique's room is like this whole wall right here. These all like interconnect. You know how like inn rooms will have doors between them. Very cute. And then obviously this like over here is probably like a building for staff and like the restaurant and so on and all the other all the other stuff that an inn would have. So very cute. Definitely unfinished, but it was really fun to sketch it out, kind of get an idea. Because one of the very first scenes that I wrote for the Secret Project was Ephraim, aka Cyril, kind of down in like by the fire pit talking to Maddock, who gets a different name in the Secret Project. Kind of down there, and then there's basically Angelique, who's like upstairs on the top floor, and she like calls down and says, "Hey, come here. You need to you need to do some unpleasant work because I hate you." And Cyril's like, "Fine." He has to go all the way upstairs just for her to like insult him, which is super fun. Anyway, so that was what that was for. I needed the sketch to kind of give myself an idea. So yeah. That's the inn. It's very cute. If I change let's see, if I change the time of day, it should have the lights come on. There we go. It's very, very cute with all the lights on. All the lights and all the lanterns. My makeshift little fire pit, because there's no option for like actual fire. But yes, very cute. My eye is itching. Hold on. Ugh. All right, and then let's see here. If I find, oh, too far. Nope, not far enough. Okay, this I believe is the really, really big file that I have. Yeah. So this one's a really big build. This is like an actually, I wanted to make something that was really, really dense, like really densely packed full of just stuff. So I wonder if I can swap to my little guy and have him run around. Woo. this is the edge of the map, basically right here. So this is as far as I can go, and it stops me. But you can see a little bit. It's definitely unfinished. I never finished the castle, basically. Um, but you can see it's got all sorts of builds. It's very, very cute. So let me... I'm gonna also... It's really hard to see because it's dark. So let's see here. We'll do... Sure, we'll do that. That works. There we go. I believe that's about as far as I can zoom out. So yeah, that's my biggest build that I've done. It's like a little village with a castle in it. It's very, very cute. I wanted to do something that was really, really dense. And obviously you can tell that the castle itself is not done. It's missing windows and all of that, but still, it's very, very cute. I love all the little lines of washing and flags and everything. Extremely cute. What if I can make this? There we go. You can see the stairs that I made manually. It was painful. So they're each just like a little block of a building. And I tried to align them to make stairs. The little ducks, look at them go. Super cute. And I'm pretty sure... You can see that I started decorating the castle and then just stopped. Maybe I'll finish it eventually. You can see I used the path here. This would be a good spot to replace with stairs, because I used a path that kind of gives stairs if you go up a steep enough hill, but that should be replaced with the actual stairs now that we have them. I think I made it so that like if you loop around... Come on. There's so many trees. I know I made it to be dense, but this is really dense. Yeah, so there's like a wall here so you can't get past, but then... Come over here. There's like a little bit of the village on like the far side of the castle, which is super cute. Oh, and I made this little well, which I thought was really cute. So yeah, that's definitely my biggest build. It's very, very cute. Where can I find the bookstore? It's in there somewhere. But yeah, that one's really, really cute. I wanted to do another similarly dense build, and that's the one with the farmland, but that one's way more unfinished than this one. You can just be a little guy and just kind of wander through. Hello. It's very cute. This is the autumn palette again, which you can tell that I really like because I think it's really, really cute. Nice warm colors, and autumn is my favorite season, so look at them. They're so happy. I don't think we'll get very far because I don't think, obviously you can't pass through doors in this game. It's just a diorama builder. You can see that there's like all sorts of overlap here where things don't align. Yeah, this is as far as I can go because then you get to a door that you obviously can't pass. I don't think you can get much further on the far side either, but I guess we can go check. Can you change the seasons? Just like how you can change nighttime. I don't think so, because it's the actual build. You have to choose it before you start building. That would be a cool feature if they added it, though. It'd be really cool to be able to cycle through seasons on a completed build, but unfortunately you can't right now. This was the first thing that I built in this build, and it's this little well. Very cute. Probably wouldn't want to drink out of it because it's got leaves in it, but still. Cute little tree and a planter. That would be not quite as dark as imposing if the lanterns were on. I wish you could set it so that the lanterns turned on during the day, but it only happens at night. Now that we have movable clutter, this was also done before movable clutter was an option. So now that that is an option, I can put like furniture and stuff up here, which would be super cute. This is as far as you can go because that just leads to a door. Yep, that's pretty much, well, I guess I can go over. Wha, I might be trapped now, but I think I'm fine. It's so cute. Oh, that's too high. I can't walk up that. Oh well. There isn't an option to jump when you're in the walking camera, so that's okay. Whee! I think I put like a teeny itty bitty house down here somewhere. I just have to find where I put it. But I'm pretty sure I did put one down here somewhere. Kind of like in the water. I think it's back the other direction. If I were a place, it would be a bookstore or a library. I would like to be a forest. I would like to be an old, probably haunted castle. There it is. I knew it. See? Look, I have the itty bittiest little house. Don't ask me how you get into it or who lives here, but it's just the ittiest bittiest little itty bitty house, and it's super cute. We can pretend that it's like a beehive or something. Why is there a flower down here? How'd you get here? Well, I guess this is probably, yeah, it's from the window because this is all, again, this is all done before. Hello. Oh my gosh. I didn't know. I didn't know you could pet the ducks. 10 out of 10. Best game. But yes, this was all done before movable clutter was added. So movable clutter, like I can move all of the benches and stuff now. And yeah, there's lots of changes that I would make to this now that we have movable clutter and stairs. So I will have more work to do on this. Where's the door to this building? Did I forget to add a door? No, there is a door. Okay, good. Excellent. I wonder how far I can walk around this side. I think it just kind of ends at the water. Oh no, I can see that there is a path. I guess you got to get your little tootsies wet if you want to go over here. But there is a path, but it just leads to a door, so can't actually get by. I think it's walled off, but I could be wrong. We're kind of right on the edge of the map. Just sneak back here. Hell yeah. So you can't get back here. Awesome. That's so cute. This would obviously need to be replaced with stairs now too. There's a little well. Very cute. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I didn't know you could pet the birds. I thought the birds were just kind of decoration and that they would land on the sheep. I knew you could pet the sheep, but the ducks is new. And I know the fish react to you as well, which is kind of cute. Uh, but yeah, I think. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I think it's this one. This is the like very first. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Super cute. Okay, this was the very first one that I did. I got all them little flags. It's so cute. And I think for this one, let me try to. Oops. Because I think I added pathways to this one, so you can kind of like walk all the way through it, I want to say. I seem to have done a lot of these little wells in my early builds here. Let's see. Okay, where does this map begin and end? Help. I'm lost. It's been 84 years. Because there should be kind of pathways that you can take all the way through. I tried to do that with most of these, just because I like it. Let's see if... There we go. The map is relatively small. I mean, the game is called Tiny Glade, so it's, tiny. I'm I'm trapped. I can't go any further. But yeah. So let's see. I should be able to walk like all the way through. Oh yes, this is my original attempt at a bridge before bridges were added. Cute little courtyard for the church. Adorable. I clearly tried to add stairs here. Nothing. Oh, well, there's a little tower over there. I think that's from the path, though. I love the Mary Poppins sheep. I read that book as a kid. I read that book and then I still remember vividly, oh my God, vividly, my mom bought the VHS of the Disney Mary Poppins film for us. We were all very excited. Super cute. I put lots of lanterns over here. I bet this looks really cute at night and not daytime. I really wish the lanterns turned on um, during the day, but let's see if I can turn them on. Very cute. 10 out of 10. Loving the vibes. The little fireflies are so cute. Adorable. 10 out of 10. Not promoted, but not sponsored, but go by Tiny Glade. I like this one because it really looked like it was kind of tucked away in the woods, kind of the way that the game implies that you should build, which I don't know, I think it's really cute. Now, Babel, I have to ask because I know that you play more Tiny Glade than I do. Have you, because I tried, and you might have noticed when I was scrolling through my various builds, you probably saw it in there. But I've got to ask, Babel, have you done any of the roller coaster stuff yet? Because let me tell you, that was not a feature that I was expecting them to add to this game. I know you've spent more time playing with this game though, so I'm kind of assuming that you've already built yourself a super cool roller coaster. I attempted one, but I'm not super. The what? No, you don't know. You don't know. Okay, hold on. No, I thought you knew. Hold on, because I tried building one, but I'm not super happy with it, so I wasn't going to show anybody. All right, hold on. Because you probably saw I was trying to hide it by scrolling through like really, really fast, but I did this in like 10 minutes because I really wanted to try out if it worked or not. Because I thought it was just a joke. I thought it was like a meme that the devs did. I thought they were joking. Is that the movie with Julie Andrews? I haven't watched it. Yes, it is the movie with Julie Andrews. I absolutely adore her performance. It's such a fun movie. And Dick Van Dyke, I mean, the absolute legend himself. Just two sterling performances and such a beautiful film. All right, listen, I'm gonna give you a heads up. If you get like motion sickness or anything, you probably shouldn't watch. It's pretty slow, but it might give you motion sickness if that is something that you are susceptible to. So there is your warning. Um, let's see. Okay, it's gonna plonk me down kind of in the middle of nowhere. Because yes, this is a feature that the devs added. I think. I made it so you can go both directions. 'Cause yeah, they added this. So I can't believe that they added this. I thought this was a joke, but no, turns out that they actually let you do this. Isn't it adorable? I thought this was just a joke. I thought that it was like an April Fool's. I mean, I know this isn't April, but I thought it was like an April Fool's prank or something. But no, they actually let you do this. Isn't it adorable? I can't believe that they let you do this. Isn't that cute? I can go both directions, but I don't know which one's better. So that was that direction. We can go the opposite direction. I don't know what made them want to do this, but I'm so glad they did because it's so cute. The speed also changes. So I'm actually manually controlling the speed. I'm not actually sure if they have any kind of like gravity physics built into this. You just enter the cart and then you choose how fast you move. And I'm kind of timing it to make it feel a little bit more like a roller coaster, but yeah, you could go at a leisurely pace if you so wish. You could just have your cart follow the track, and it's adorable. I get such a kick out of this. Pavel, I'm surprised that you didn't know. How did I figure out something about a video game before you? Isn't it so cute? It's so silly and I love it. It is. And I'm pretty sure, okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I don't know which of those is better. The first direction or the second direction. I'm not super. Anyways, I'm gonna go with this one. So let's see if because I have heard. Come on, come on. Let me click on you. There we go. I have heard that if you line up multiple of them, something happens. I'm not sure if I've done it right. This is a quote-unquote secret feature that the devs added. Okay, no, that one didn't work. I think you can string them together though. And I think something special happens if you string them together. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that, because right now I've just got them kind of set down randomly, but let me... Do I need to like put them a certain direction? Second. Do I have to duplicate this one or do I have to add a cart to it? I'm not entirely sure how it works. I've just seen that people have talked about how this is something that you can do. Angelique could ask her mom to surround the castle. It's true. And her mom would probably do it for her. To be fair, I've been cracked on Palia lately. That's fair. That's fair. I need to build this. I don't know. I know. It's pretty crazy that I found out something about a video game before you. I usually rely on you for my video game news because I don't have the time to keep up with them. I I'm not sure. I've seen people literally string carts together, it basically allowing you to make um, like roller coaster cars. It looks like I'm only getting one. I'm leaving behind my friends, but that's okay. It is still extremely cute. I don't know what gave them the idea to do this, but I'm so glad that they did. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to look up what the devs say is the way to string multiple carts together so that you get like roller coaster cars. Because I know that they mentioned it in the dev notes. Either way, it is super, super cute. Do you like roller coasters in real life though, is the question. Because like I absolutely will go on roller coasters in real life. So I love this. I get such a kick out of it. It makes me think of like how excited I am to like go to a theme park. But if you hate roller coasters, I don't know, maybe it's different for you. But yeah, I don't know how to string them together so that you get like multiple cars, but it's extremely cute and I'm really glad that they did that. Adorable. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do more roller coaster-esque builds because that's actually super cute. It's just all stairs. All you have to do is like drag stairs around. All right, but give me 1 second. I be good while I'm gone. I will be right back. I'm just gonna use the restroom real quick. Alright, I'm back. Man, I really hope I get that raise and that promotion, because every time I kind of like walk back and forth through my little house, because that's what it is, I'm just kind of like, I want to decorate. I want to decorate so bad. Soon. I'm working on putting together a gallery wall. Maybe I'll show you guys some cheeky photos of that as it comes together. I just bought another piece for it. So I currently have two pieces here that are going to go on my gallery wall, and then one piece on the way, which is a very small start for a gallery wall, but it's something. And both pieces are very lovely. Welcome back, thank you. I just want more money. But yes, technically it's very cute. I think it's really adorable that the devs added this, and I'm just happy that they added stairs in general. It makes me, I think one of the things that you can do here, I'll do this on a different map. Let me load up a different one. Let's do until that one's not finished. Oh, I guess I can show you guys this one. Oh, I actually wanted to ask, why did you decide to change the names of your characters for the Secret Project? I'm changing the names of the characters in the Secret Project because it's going to be published under a different pen name. So the idea, oh right, I forgot, I marooned this poor sheep on this island, and it's just never escaped this island. Sorry, sorry little guy. At least you've got a little bird friend with you. He's trapped forever. But yes, I'm changing the name of the characters for the Secret Project because it's going to be published under a different pen name. It's not going to be published under Diastrefo. The idea is that people who follow me, Diastrefo, under that pen name, and who follow me for Immolation and the other works that I do, will still be able to find the Secret Project and go read it if they so choose. But it is a different genre. It is a romance. It is not something that I normally write. So it's going to be like a separate kind of thing that people can go to if they want and they already know about me. Versus people who are romance readers specifically, who are going to be browsing, looking for romance work. They would then find the Secret Project and they would find it under a different pen name, and they would just read the romance and then they'd go, they'd continue reading other romances. Because it is unfortunate, but it's the reality that romance readers will pick up a fantasy novel expecting it to be a romantasy, and then when it is not a romantasy, they will give it a bad review. And I don't want to risk people coming to my work through the Secret Project, which is very much a romance, and then going to read Immolation expecting it to be written in the same way when they're not. They are two completely different genres. They are written in two different ways. So I don't want people coming to the Secret Project and then expecting Immolation to be the same and then leaving a bad review on Immolation when they don't like it because it's not the same as the Secret Project. If people jump from Immolation and decide to try the Secret Project, fine, no worries. Because they already kind of know what Immolation is and they're not going in with preconceived notions. Versus if people jump from the Secret Project to Immolation, I think that's going to cause problems. Also, there's just the level of that one is a spicy romance, and I'm going to keep that separate for the people who enjoy that versus the fantasy that's a little bit more dense. And yeah, there's still some romance in it, but it's not like a romance genre. That was a very wordy way of saying it. Yeah, I mean, at least they've got the whole island. Maybe, maybe I'll give them a little chair or something. I don't know. But yes, this is the other one that I was working on. It is not done. And you can tell that I've got like this little area over here because this is where I put all the clutter. Because in order to generate the clutter, you have to put windows and doors against a wall, and then it starts generating them, and then you can pull them away and you can cycle through and like select the ones that you want and duplicate them. So that'll eventually disappear. But then we've got like this little entryway, and you could come in here to this little area. Very cute. Or you could take these little stairs over here. And these stairs, which I had to place manually, and then you can come into this very cute, like this is this little hallway, corridor, path, whatever, road. This little road is like the entire reason that I made the map. Come on. Back over here. There. This little road right here, this is like the entire reason that I made the map. Because I wanted this like really dense looking like medieval market road. So that's like the whole reason that I made this map is just to do that. So I succeeded, so I'm satisfied with it, which is probably part of why it's unfinished, because I did the part that I wanted to do, and then had no reason to continue. You can tell that I was going to make this a bakery, because I got all the bread. I still eventually would like to do more dense builds like this. I mean, I just don't really have the time is the big thing. But like, for example, over here, I have like the little path that kind of goes along, like the edge, like right against the water. And then up from that, I have like another level of like sidewalk that you can, oh, come on, that you can go through. And then even up above that, there's like another set of stairs, and you can go even higher. I love like terraced and layered cities like that. It's super cute. I tried to make a dense one as well, and I love the laundry line and the little flags. I know, it's super cute. Have you made Windermere? Oh God. No, I have not even attempted to make Windermere or Our Beloved Lady. Those would just be very, very difficult. I would like to make, um, even though she would have to be scaled down, it would be very fun to make the cathedral, but I wouldn't be able, because of the limitations of the game, I wouldn't be able to put like all the gardens on like her rooftop terraces and everything, which would be kind of sad. But I might still try. Who knows? Because I can't put trees like up on top of buildings. The game won't let you do that. So there are some limitations, but I still think it'd be really cute to try. But that would be extremely time consuming. And between work and I start classes this fall, and animatic and writing, etc., I don't foresee having the spare time to do that. But one day, perhaps, it would be cute. We could do a scaled down version of the cathedral and just put a roller coaster inside. Let's see, what time is it? It's 1:30. I probably have like 10 more minutes, and then I've got to go because I have a bunch of cleaning and fun adult stuff like that to do. Uh, I am caught up on my beta reading, so that's good. She said that she would quote unquote continue reading mine, but she hadn't left any comments on it. So I don't know if she's actually continuing to read or if she's starting to read. And she said it could be up to a week before she actually reads it. So who knows? We'll see if she leaves her comments. If she leaves any funny comments on the spice, you bet you'll hear about it. uh, Metaphor the roller coaster would go crazy. I know. Uh, oh, right. Okay, so here. So this was my version of a vineyard. So I put purple flowers to kind of be reminiscent of grapes, and then the trellises that the vines would grow on. So I did that over here, and then over here I have an orchard, but it's really hard to tell because the trees all look the same. I wish they had the option where you could like click on a tree and cycle through, and you could change the color of the leaves or whether or not the tree has fruit on it or things like that. I really wish they add that. Wish they had that slash would add that in the future. I think that'd be a really cute feature. I feel bad like asking for things from the devs because they've already added so much to the game. Um, but still, I think that would be a cool feature. So I have the orchard over there. I have a little vineyard. It goes right up against the edge of the map, so there's a really harsh line there that I don't like, but it is what it is. And then there's farmland that I put hay, and we've got little sheep. I put hay and pumpkins over here. And then we have our marooned little friend. Come on. So far away from his kin who are over in the field. But yeah, that's very cute little build. Definitely unfinished, but yeah. And I have to figure out why on earth Stream Elements crashed like that, so it hopefully doesn't happen again. So I'll have to look at the logs for it and do some IT support to make sure that doesn't happen again. No idea why that happened, but it is what it is. But yes, Tiny Glade's very cute, not sponsored. Definitely never ever gonna have sponsors, but not sponsored. Go buy Tiny Glade. It's super cute. I think it's like 15 bucks or something. But yeah, very cute. I'm a big fan. It's a very fun, like, sketching ideas out kind of. It's not like really a game in that sense, it's just like a diorama builder. But it's very cute. I'm a big fan. Thank you for letting me stream a game today instead of art. That takes a lot off my plate, so I really appreciate it. I don't expect to do more game streams here on YouTube. Um, I kind of wanted to keep YouTube dedicated only to art. I was just so burnt out today that I couldn't make myself do more artwork. Trying to do that sketch last night was like pulling teeth. I don't know. I don't play a ton of games, so I don't expect to stream more games here, except for when I desperately need a break from art. So we'll see how it goes. I don't want to make people feel obligated to go over to Twitch though, because I don't like making people go over to Twitch and having to make a whole separate account so they can chat. Because if I don't make people require to follow in order to chat on Twitch, I get a bunch of spammers, bots, and all sorts of shenanigans. So safe to say I'm going to be streaming on YouTube only, but very rarely games. Creative games are also an art. Sorta. I will say that there are times where I have opened up TinyGlade and set up a little bit, like set up a little scene, and then taken a screenshot of that scene so that I can use it as a reference to then draw like a background for a piece. So technically, it's an art tool. But yes, I'm going to wrap it up because I have lots of housework to do today. And I have to prep for classes because they start next week, and I have to buy my textbooks, and they're expensive. I have to pay for like a $75 digital rental of a textbook. I'm like, great, thanks. And that's only for one class, and I'm taking three classes. So wish me luck getting robbed blind in order to take some college classes. It's the world we live in today, though. But yeah, and if I first of all, if I get the raise slash promotion, I will let you know because oh my gosh, it's been months of not knowing. Um, but I will also keep you abreast of developments regarding my gallery wall because I'm really excited to put that together. I'm slowly accumulating stuff, and I really want to like I'm settled in, I guess. Yeah, technically, but like I really want to decorate and I really want to feel nice and cozy. So we'll see. Classes, what classes? Horrible, terrible classes. No, I'm taking classes so that I can grab a degree, basically. Because last time I was attending classes, it was during COVID, and because we weren't permitted to like go in person, we didn't get the in-person hours required, so the classes couldn't like the credit for classes couldn't be given. So I'm three classes away from my degree, so I need to grab it. Um, so I'm just doing it now. Though I changed my major. Previously, I was an IT major, which is why you had to be like in person, because you had to like, physically disassemble and reassemble the computers and all that. So I'm no longer an IT major. I changed my major to, let me see what it is. Hold on. Social and behavioral science. That's my new major. So, three classes. They start next week and they go until like December or whatever. So, that's gonna suck. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't enjoy taking classes. I'm doing it because I have to. Um, but it is what it is. It's important that I stay competitive in corporate America in order to continue to earn enough money to survive. So, wish me luck. It means I'm going to be very, very busy. I am going to try to keep up my streaming schedule because making sure that I stay consistent with streams is really important to me. It's a good way to make sure that I continue doing artwork. Um, except for a day like today when I'm too burnt out and I just decide, hee hee, I'm going to play a video game. But still, you get the point. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. My treat for myself for getting the college coursework over with is that hopefully I will be able to do some more decorating at my new place. I have that clock I still need to hang up, and I have my gallery wall that I want to start. I need shelves for displaying my trinkets and my bits and bobs, and I've got some more books coming in, so I have stuff to read. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, well, I am going to wrap it up and head out. Thank you very much for coming. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for sticking with me even while I just decide to hang out and chat and play a game. It's always fun to just kind of chat with you guys and see how you guys are doing and just talk about silly stuff. So thank you for being here. It's always a highlight of my weekend when I get to stream. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Have a good upcoming week, and I will see you next time. You're doing some redecorating? I want to see. Send pictures. You don't have to, don't feel pressured to, but I would like to see. your redecorations. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you again next time.